This is the opening line in Wind Waker. Ironically, though unsurprisingly, it is written, not spoken. What follows is a folk-tale-style retelling of Ocarina of Time. Buried beneath Wind Waker's cel-shaded deluge was how cleverly it wove tradition into its story. Traditional storytelling, how it used old Zelda games to create in-game traditions, and traditional stories. I'm going to dive into Wind Waker and bring to the surface these three aspects that interlink this great game with the broader Zelda franchise as well as our own world. This opening tapestry calls to mind stories told around a campfire, but now the light is not flame, it's diodes projecting from our television screen. Though the medium is modern, when we play Wind Waker, we engage in something ancient. Its introduction is a story we may have heard before if we've played Ocarina of Time, but just imagine what a moment like this would be like for a first-time Zelda player. What mystery, what intrigue. It is an oral tradition connecting Wind Waker to its forebear. Sing to us, O goddesses of the hero and his blade. As far as I know, this is the first time a Zelda game has directly referenced the events of another game as a legend that then has direct bearing on the story. This is an awesome avenue that the series took because it added a mystique to those older titles and allowed their elements to be recontextualized in new games, giving them deeper meaning. And that's just what Wind Waker does with this version of Link. We meet him on his birthday, an aloof boy more interested in sleeping and running around outside than tradition, especially if it means he has to wear some goofy outfit from a fairy tale told by the village elders. But the source of the tradition is a neat one. Outset Isle has a folk hero from a fantastic lost land who embodied courage and dispelled evil. As the boys of the island become men, they, too, partake in this coming-of-age ceremony, this initiation, even if it has become sanitized from defeating evil to inviting neighbors over for a party. The clever thing about this particular tale is that, as the story goes, the hero doesn't return, and so it's up to the young men, newly initiated, to take up that role. In the real world, this sort of initiation is symbolic. It guides a boy into manhood by providing a template of values for the ideal man. Wind Waker, as a video game, has the ability to make this literally true, especially so as many have theorized that this version of Link isn't a reincarnation of the hero, but just a kid trying to save his sister. In this way, he isn't born the hero, but becomes one. A literal transformation as opposed to a cultural transformation for any young person trying to make their way in this daunting world. Which brings us, of course, to the daunting Great Sea. Now, humanity is replete with flood myths. There's Gilgamesh, Noah and the Ark, a whole host of additional cultures across the world that have had some story that involves a great flood. And now Zelda, too, has contributed to this tradition of flood myths and heroes and boats. Not only has Zelda created legends within its own franchise, but it's also added to the legends in our real lives. One of the most well-known flood myths, of course, is the sinking of Atlantis, which has spawned books, movies, treasure hunters, conspiracies, you name it. But there is also a great debate about whether or not Atlantis existed as an actual place or is merely a story, a cautionary tale about the consequences of power gripped in the hands of the few. Stories like this are what I find especially appealing about the Zelda franchise. You can tell a version of these ancient stories in unfamiliar worlds, all the while turning the traditional narrative motifs on their head. The oral tradition of the hero of time, it's true.
All of it.
Embracing the tradition of wearing green to embody the hero, it's needed now more than ever, as the king of evil has returned, and our Link must courageously take up his sword. A mythic, forgotten land, not only is it real, you can go there, but it is buried beneath the Great Sea in a final desperate act of divine retribution to curb the overwhelming power gripped in the hand of one Gerudo king. It makes you wonder what other legends may be true.